Hi, my name's Bashi. I'm going to be talking to you about how to change a bike tyre in 5 easy steps. So step number 1 is taking the wheel off. So undoing the quick release in this case, loosening it off, so it should just drop out the bottom there. Step number 2 is undoing the tyre pressure. So letting the tyre down. So undo the valve and make sure it goes completely flat. It'll be easy to take the tyre off. What we can do is push the tyre off the rim. So if you go all the way around and push the tyre off the edge of the rim, it'll become a lot looser. So do that on both sides, all the way around. So when you're taking the tyre off, a tyre lever will really come in handy. So one of these will help you get the tyre completely off the rim. So I've got a couple of different variations. Insert your tyre lever into one side of the tyre. Once it's in, hook it round and push it all the way around the wheel. Then the tyre should be really loose. You should be able to pull it all the way off the rim. Take the new tyre. Now some tyres have directions on them, so they're designed to roll and face one way. So if you look on the side of the tyre, there's usually an arrow which says which direction it should go. So you need to make sure that's facing forwards on the wheel. Grab the wheel. It's always nice to line the graphics up in the hole. So slot one side of the tyre on over the rim. So one side should just pop straight on. Once you have one side of the tyre on the rim, you can then pop the inner tube back into the tyre. It's always easier to post the valve through first, and then you can gently feed the inner tube back through the tyre. Once that's all in, then you can start pushing the other side of the tyre back on. So it should just fold back in quite nicely. Now, sometimes you might need a tyre lever to put this bit back on, but if you just keep following it around, you should be able to push it back on with a bit of force. Now before pumping the tyre back up, just make sure that the tyre is in the middle of the rim and the inner tube isn't poking out the side. If the inner tube is poking out the side and you blow it up, you risk puncturing the inner tube because you pinch it between the rim. So you just need to make sure the inner tube is in the middle of the tyre before you pump it back up. Then get your pump or compressor, put it back on the tyre. Just give it a little bit of air to make sure it's seated correctly, and then you can just make sure that the tyre's sat evenly and there's no bulges coming out, so there's no inner tube bulging out the side. Blow it up to your desired pressure. Up to that 8 psi. Again, it will should say on the edge of the rim how much pressure the tyre can take and how much rim pressure there should be on the rim. And once it's done that, you just need to go around the tyre and make sure it's seated all the way outside and it's sitting on the rim nicely. Sometimes it might take a minute to come out and sit properly. Once it is, you have the rim, put the valve cap back on, slot it back into the dropouts, make sure it's nice and even, and there you have it, a new tyre. For more bike videos and bike information, check out theadultbible.com.